think it is more productive when you fall off the path to just get back on track rather than to stay there and complain about how you got off track and beat yourself up and say, oh my god, I haven't worked out in 25 days. Oh my god, I haven't been sober. Oh my god, this and this and this. Oh my god, I ate a Snickers, whatever. Don't even give that shit energy. Don't even think about it. Just get back on the fucking track. Just get back on. It will use less of your energy to just get back on and realign than it will to complain. Complaining takes more of your energy and drains you and fuels that reality back again. Because now you're affirming to yourself, oh yeah, I'm not sober because I did that thing. We all fall off the path sometimes. Whether that is our spiritual practice or creating something and then not being consistent enough. And then we beat ourselves up about it and tell ourselves that we should be somewhere else that we're not. Because society expects this, the algorithm expects this, your mom, your own inner expectations, your fans, whoever it is, they all expect something from you. And we don't always meet our own standards. Sometimes we just fall off. And then we don't get back on because we think that falling off means that maybe this path isn't for us. Maybe we are not worthy to be on this path. Maybe we're not as great as we thought we were, and we can never be as great as we thought we could be. And we don't get back on track with our goals because it starts to wear off our self-esteem and what we think we're capable of. And we don't allow ourselves to have seasons in our lives. Seasons where we fall off the path and we prioritize one thing over another thing. We might go into a season where we're focused more on relationship and not on creation, not on art. And then we might have another season where we're focused more on art and our mission, but we're actually neglecting our health or our relationship, or however else that translates for you in your life. But you see, we're actually cyclical beings. We're not meant to just be consistently one way all the time. And all these societal pressures and expectations and inner expectations, they wear us down. We're not supposed to just be grinding and being one way all the time. We're meant to be shifting and growing in different areas at different times. And I've realized this for myself as a multi-dimensional, multi-passionate artist. I realized that I have seasons where sometimes I'll just be purely focused on poetry, writing poetry, going to poetry nights. Then I'll have another season where I'm just doing belly dance. And then I'll have another season where I'm focused on my pixel whipping. And then I'll have another season where I'm doing painting. And then I'll have a season where I'm doing videos. And then I'll have a season where I'm not doing any of that and I'm focused more on relationships. And it all kind of, my life seems to just flow like water. But society and the algorithm and everything around me seems to be showing me that you need to be consistent in all areas of your life all the time. And I don't know if that's possible or sustainable. Maybe it is. Maybe there is a way to balance everything, but I have not found that yet. And I am learning that it is actually okay to have these seasons and to have these cycles and to not just be one way all the time and not be on all the time in all areas of my life. Imagine that you were going through a breakup and you were depressed, and now you're going to your job, but your performance at work suffers because of your state. Well, now your boss might feel inclined to fire you because you're not performing the way that you normally should. Instead of accommodating for people's cyclical nature and perhaps moving you to the back of house temporarily doing some admin jobs whilst you heal and go through your process. No, they just need you to be a certain way all the time and be on and perform in the same way all the time. But that's just not how things work. That's not how nature works. Look at nature. Nature's always cycling. It's always shifting. It's always moving. It's always in a different season. So if you're watching this and you relate to what I'm saying, I urge you to embrace your seasons and to not succumb yourself to the pressures of outside reality telling you that you're not good enough if you don't perform the same way all the time, or if you're going through a season where you're not doing something that you wanted to do. This feeling of I'm not doing enough is constantly looming in the background of my mind and my life. This is called fairy rose incense, and I got it in Kyoto in Japan, and it smells like a fairy rose. This feeling that I'm not doing enough, it's been a constant feeling in the back of my mind for a lot of my life. And it makes sense because I actually aspire for greatness, and I do look up to my role models on social media and people that I admire, whose lives I resonate with and want for myself. And there is this fear that if I don't do more, if I don't produce more, if I don't give more of myself, I will never achieve the kinds of results or a life that they have. And there is truth to that, of course. I need to do the work. But who is it really serving if I am just constantly beating myself up in my own head, telling myself that I'm not doing enough? Because that voice is actually never helped me. It's always just made me want to lie around and do less, actually. And now I want to speak on the subject of doing less and just being more. What if cultivating presence is actually a productive thing, because it puts you in touch with a deeper part of yourself, and so when you do go and take action, it comes from a more aligned space, and so there is less resistance when you go and do that thing than if you were to do it from a space of I have to do this, a space of rushing, a space of chaos, and beating yourself up. If you ask me, I feel like doing things from a state of calm, centered presence is actually going to yield better results than if you were to just rush into it and think, oh my god, I have to do more. Well, what if I could just be more and sit around more and then take action when it feels aligned, when it is time to take action, instead of sitting around in my head and feeding that inner critic? I think it is more productive when you fall off the path to just get back on track rather than to stay there and complain about how you got off track and beat yourself up and say, oh my god, I haven't worked out in 25 days. Oh my god, I haven't been sober. Oh my god, this and this and this. Oh my god, I ate a Snickers, whatever. Don't even give that shit energy. Don't even think about it. Just get back on the fucking track. Just get back on. It will use less of your energy to just get back on and realign than it will to complain. Complaining takes more of your energy and drains you and fuels that reality back again. Because now you're affirming to yourself, oh yeah, I'm not sober because I did that thing. No, just get back on. Don't blame yourself. Okay, you didn't create a video for how many weeks? Just get back on. Okay, you didn't make a painting for 5 years? Just get back on. Stop complaining about it. Stop telling people about how long it's been. Just get back on. Trying to figure it out so hard. I get into this trap of wanting to shadow work my way out of everything. Oh, maybe there's a reason. Maybe there's a reason, deep-seated trauma reason behind my resistance of why I haven't created a painting for so long, or why I never seem to finish things. Yeah, maybe there is something there for me to look at that I am avoiding, but at the same time, what I am avoiding is right here, right now. And if I just sat down with the painting that I am avoiding, I would be faced with that thing right here and right now, and I have the chance to meet that resistance in the face. But I am avoiding it by going into my journal thinking about it. I often wonder, or maybe I don't actually wonder enough, why the people that I admire so much, my role models, the people who seem to just be on the creative juice, the creative train all the time, and are just able to produce and produce and produce and produce. How are they able to do that? Why? And why am I not able to align with that mastery? Well, I am able, but why do I not do that? I mean, maybe I have different values, right? Perhaps I actually value relaxation and relationships and having fun more than I value mastery and excellence and providing value to the world. Maybe. And maybe I will have a happier life if I prioritize those things that are more important to me, and I don't need to fit myself to some kind of artificial standard that says that my worth depends on how much I produce. Because a life that is based around relationships is just as valid as a lifetime where you produce a lot of stuff for people to consume and enjoy in some way, or have some kind of output that looks like tangible work, you know? A lifetime where, I don't know, let's say you're a mother and you just look after a child. That's a valid mission. That's a lot of work, but people don't seem to see that as work, and they don't seem to value it in the same way. And then this voice comes into our heads telling us, no, you're not doing enough, you're not good enough. But, you know, if I am jealous of those people, then perhaps I need to reevaluate my own values and really deeply think about what it is that I want to offer to the world, and is that more important than my own personal pleasure? I guess the question that we need to ask ourselves is, how are we willing to suffer? And what are we willing to put on the side for our mission? How important is this thing that I want to me? Painting, dancing, whatever it is that you're aspiring to do or be, content creating, whatever. Is that more important to me than the other things that I have been doing? And maybe it's not. And then that's okay, but then I have to accept that I am gonna be putting more focus into these things. Relationships. Or petting my cat. I think realigning yourself with that path, with whatever you fell off, whether it's your spiritual practice, whether it's your painting, whether it's your dancing, whether it's your gym membership, whatever that thing is that you fell off of. If you want to realign yourself back with that, you have to ask yourself, is this more important than the other things I have been putting my energy into? And there is no wrong answer, because you are committing yourself to something. It's just more of a subconscious commitment. So now that thing that you have been avoiding, you know what it is. It's the painting that you've neglected. It's the gym. It's the goal that you put on the side. It's the YouTube channel that you forgot about. It's the book that you want to write and then tell yourself, oh, I'll write it later when I have more information. But you know that day is never gonna come. Whatever that thing is, right? We all kind of have that. It's totally okay to fall off the path. Don't beat yourself up for going off the path. Just get back on. The longer you beat yourself up about going off the path, the longer you will be off the path. You will be off the path doing this to yourself. Whilst, you know, everybody else is walking on their path and they're looking at you like, the fuck? But like, they see you and they see that you could just move your little legs and get back on the path, but you don't, because you like beating yourself up and feeling sorry for yourself. What if I'm walking on this path and then I realize that this path is not what I wanted, and that's why I'm afraid to start? Well, you're not gonna know if that path is right for you or not until you actually walk that path. So you gotta walk it and just see what happens. And then if you don't like it, you can find a different path. You can always delete the YouTube channel. The path is calling you. It has your name written on it, but you keep doing that other thing, the easy thing. Like, I might say to myself, oh, I want to manifest this. And then in the morning, I wake up and I scroll on my phone. And I'm like, well, where's my manifestation practice that I told myself I would do every morning? Where is it? I want result A, but I keep going down the B path. It doesn't align, it doesn't make sense. But why? Why do we do this to ourselves? I don't know if I have a full answer to that, but I think we're scared as fuck of our own success. We are scared of what we could become, because it feels like a death to who we are now, to our current ego and identity. It feels like a blow. You don't want to change. You don't want to do the hard thing, because in some way you are convinced that is a death of some sort. And you know, we tend to default back to our old habits that are running in the background of our mind on autopilot, and we revert back to our old identity that we are familiar with. That's why I'm reading Atomic Habits, and it's saying that every habit is built from an identity first. Every habit that lasts, that is. Because if you try to do it from the outside in, and you go about it in terms of, I will do this thing and then I will become the person that does the thing, it won't work. You have to become the person first. So I am a person that makes my bed every single morning. That is my new identity that I've wired in, that I didn't used to have, because I didn't used to make my bed every morning. I used to be a messy fucker and I didn't make my bed. So, you know, you've got to engineer your day and your brain and your habits in a way that sustain you and your goals. If you have a habit of going in your phone all the time and talking to people or scrolling Instagram, then that is something that is preventing you from going back on your path. And as long as you have that old identity, you're gonna keep defaulting to path B, and you're not gonna want to align yourself with path A, because path A feels like a death. It feels like an unfamiliar, unknown identity. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say for today. Is just get back on. Just get back on the path. Don't complain about it. Get back on the path. It's okay that you fell off. You're safe. You're always okay to restart. Even if you have a 30-year gap between the project you abandoned and where you are now, you can still pick it up again and start again. Every moment is a new moment. And you have the power to shift your identity and become a new you in every moment. And it's okay to take breaks, and it's okay to fall off the path, and it's okay to focus on something else that might feel more fulfilling to you, such as relationships over a career. It's okay. You don't need to be career. You're allowed to have seasons. You're allowed to shift and be dynamic. You don't need to be on all the time. That is the message. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Please subscribe if you like this kind of content, and I have some art over on Instagram if you want to go check that out. And other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video. Goodbye.